I love studies like this.
What study? About games?
Video games. Anything that proves that video games are not detrimental to health, to society, I love. Because, man, I grew up with so much of that belief that video games are the ill of society. Like, sort of like if you grew up in the 60s, everyone said rock and roll is the devil's music. And you look back at that now, you're like, what a bunch of boo-hoo-hee. Like it's like, what a bunch of bullshit, right? It's like, no. You're just so caught up in like what was so crazy at the time, what drove all the youngsters crazy. But you know, this generation is reaching that turning point where I think a lot of people are thinking like video games aren't bad for you. And there's a latest study that just came out. It's saying that playing video games will make you happy.
Oh, does it make you happy when you play? I feel happy when I see you play.
Well, that's a new interesting twist because usually most women hate it when their man is playing video games.
No, because you don't, it's not like you play all the time.
Oh, I used to play all the time. I mean, when I worked in the game industry, didn't I play like all the time?
Yes. But when I see you, I think I'm talking about recently, right? Because you've been very busy, you've been trying new things, and you have no time to have time for yourself.
That's
and
a good point. Yeah.
play with your game. So when I see you play games, and even before you used to play game with your cousin. So when you guys do that, I feel happy because you're spending time with them, you know, talking with them.
That's a good point.
So,
but I think those are different than I think most people. A lot of guys who play games will play with such a marathon length.
Right, that's
They're
different.
Like, well, I don't have time to take you out on a date, or
that's,
I forgot to do my chores,
that's,
or like lady wants some like cuddle time, and the guy's like, baby, you're in my way.
Right.
Like, can you put on some clothes? All can see is your titties and not the game.
That might be the starting of that TikTok thing where they go get naked in front of their boyfriend.
Of course.
Because, you know, let's see if I can distract my boyfriend with me.
See anything else.
Right.
So that's why a lot of women, they view video games like,
they hate it.
They hate it. I hate it when their guys play. But you are definitely a unique catch. And I don't give you enough credit for that. So right now, at this particular moment, I am going to appreciate the fact that you love it when I play video games. Seriously. It's a rare thing.
Don't cry,
you, baby.
Because I know that it's something that you're passionate about, right? And
well, I used to be. That's maybe one reason why you're very happy to see me play now. Because I very rarely play now because I'm so caught up in work and doing other things that when I do play, it's almost like going to a happy place, like resting. And I think what you're saying is you're just happy to see me take a break from working.
Mm-hmm, yes.
So it may not be that you're happy to see me, you know,
playing
games. You just see me happy taking a break, and before my
taking
cousin,
a break,
spending time with family,
spending time by yourself, having fun, enjoying something that you love. You can't just like work and work and work. You need to have and do something that you.
But my work is games, and that's why I love it. So, but this is different though. This is not about how you feel. It's that when people play games, they're finding out that there's actually a happy correlation. Now, mind you, this is not saying that it's the causation. But at least this is saying like playing video games doesn't make you a psychopathic killer. I think there's honestly like a lot of different ways you can interpret different data. Like I do believe that if you play enough violent video games, it can desensitize you to seeing violent things, particularly the kind of games where you're just shooting a lot of people. Like there's been studies around that. And, I think they're pretty valid. I think the thinking there makes sense. Also just because, from someone who designs games, repetition of doing something the same and again, the point of it is to desensitize you from the anxiety of what you do, right? Like if you play a Mario level, you have to play it 100 times in order to beat it. You are training yourself to feel more at ease without the anxiety and stress of figure out how to beat the boss. So eventually you just do it instinctively. So that's a form of desensitization. It means like you're not getting stressed about beating the boss. It's the kind of same thing when you see video game violence. You eventually just don't get stressed when you see it, which may mean that, if you're watching a lot of violent news and stuff on TV, you don't get stressed about it either. So desensitization doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It's just a condition you go through. But to say that video games make you happier, I had to really look into this because I'm like, this is really interesting. Because first off, does it mean all video games?
Or just specific type
and apparently it's just two games that they studied. One is this electronic arts game called Plants vs. Zombies, which has been like one of my favorite games. Real chill type of game. And it's an older game, so I don't even know why they picked this one. But the other one is like hugely popular. I know if you played it, you would be hooked. hooked.
What is it?
It's a Nintendo game, Animal Crossing. So you have this little, like, cute little character, and you're going around town.
I want to see.
You want to see it here? I'll show you real quick. So it's a cute game, and you build up your town. You have to like, gather things and to build your house, decorate it. You hang out with your friends, and it's just fun. And so a lot of people who play it are actually women. A lot of women love this game. So it's a very calming game. It's all feel good stuff because it's a Nintendo game. Nintendo doesn't generally make crazy violent games. Like, when was the last time you ever seen like Mario like bitch slap somebody, right? After he stomps their head, he doesn't continue pounding the ground. Blood doesn't come out anywhere. It's all happy, love, joy type of stuff.
Right.
So it makes sense to me, like, why games like this make you feeling happy.
Yeah, because you're accomplishing something. You're using your imagination. You're creating. So
yeah, exactly. There's a sequence of things that happens in video games that I actually think that if you condition yourself to do well, again, this goes back to like the concept of desensitization, which is getting so used to something it becomes like a habit. Well, video games train you to figure things out. It's a little
problem
bit of solving. So every time you get stuck, like, I got to keep trying. And then, there's a reward system. So you try once, you get something back, right? Like maybe one coin. And you get enough coins, you could buy something. You could buy multiple things. You could decorate a house. A house, you can show your friends. Like, these are all little moments of a dopamine kick you get in your brain that makes you feel happy. Like, that's what happiness comes
I should play that game. But yeah, how I wish that I grew up playing games, because I've seen how this can help with your problem solving and thinking. It's really, really good. I don't know, but I think it's good for you.
It absolutely is.
Yeah, I really wish that.
I mean, you can always take anything too far, right? Which is just get hooked and play all day and night. Don't go to work. Spend too much money on something. Like, I've seen that happen. But for the most part, in measured doses, video games teach you actually a lot of valuable skills in a way where I feel like a lot of gamers don't even realize how many valuable skills they develop, that if they were just to apply some of them to the world, like literally everything you learn in these games, you can apply to the real world and become a successful person. Problem solving.
I can't even do listening skill. Even like when I'm playing video games, I'm like, what do I have to do next? Like,
following instructions.
Wait, what?
Isn't that like a third grade level skill?
No, also not just following instruction, but also like listening, right? Listening. I get so nervous. I'm like, what was it? Can you like repeat that? Like, what was my mission?
Well, I could definitely attest that listening is a challenge for you.
Yes, listening, following instruction. Yeah. So it's really good.
It's really good. And you touched upon some other things, which is around, when I play with my cousins, and they live all over the U.S., we used to hang out a lot together. We can't anymore, with kids and living in different states. But that was like a social connection. And video games provide that type of social connection. And actually, I know that was a big reason why I got into video games, because it was a reason for me to bring like-minded people together for entertainment.